There's a story of a young man. He just graduated seminary. He was so filled with arrogance. He had his 3 points. He actually did an inductive, immediate, and a different approach to his preparation. His sermon was prepared. It was just polished. You could actually put this in a magazine. It was so wonderful, and he was going to let them have it. This is my first day on the job. I'm going to let him have it. And he walked up the stairs, and he came over. He didn't really know where to start. His notes were off a little bit, and the scriptures weren't on the screen. And just in utter humiliation and failure, he walked down the steps and went and sat down. Utterly humiliated, utterly broken. And the old elder next to him, he said, "Young man, if you would have went up the steps the same way you came down, you would have succeeded. If you would have went up in that brokenness and humility and saying, God, if you don't move, I'm lost." I know it sounds funny to people, but I pray that when I preach. I say, God, you've got to move. Many of you know I've struggled with dyslexia. I can't pronounce words very well. I hate to read in public. But I see now that it's through that God gets all the glory and all the credit. The greater the brokenness, often the greater the anointing. Because God will break, just like that olive oil. Where does the oil come from? The olives being crushed. The perfume from the flowers being crushed and stomped on. And then from that, the fragrance of the flower that was beat to death, literally. I think it was Richard Baxter, Puritan, who said, I preach as a dying man to dying men. Most of the pastors know that, especially in this room. We preach as dying men to dying men. Humble and broken before him. But just remember, God does the opening, you prepare the soil. So there's a cost, the cost of humility. Let me just mention why this is so important, because we come in, we judge worship. We judge the appearance of others. We look others up and down, looking for any sign of carnality. We are eager to show off our theological persuasions and debate. Christians struggle for power, for prestige, don't they? They want the prominent positions. They want to be noticed. They want their name on the PowerPoint. God says, I'm in none of that. You want revival? Humble yourself. Pastor, you want to grow your church? Empty yourself. Stop worrying about numbers. And stop worrying about the glory of God. So there's a cost of humility. There's a cost of holiness. Oh, I could preach a whole sermon on this one.